right, so if you guys have any questions about the new Teams program, you can send it in the chat right now. We're going to ask that you guys stay on mute, and Nikki will be able to answer any of the questions you guys have. We do have some questions that were sent in before too, and so we're going to ask Nikki a few of those. So first of all, Nikki, can you just explain what the Teams program is really quick?
So the Teams program is kind of our updated club program. We found that there weren't a lot of clubs left in the country, the youth clubs. So we took the youth clubs and rolled them into this new program called the Teams. It is a points-based system, so you're still doing everything you did in the clubs. You have meetings, you can do yearbooks, you're doing community service, but now you're getting points for everything you do. And not only are you getting points for the stuff you do that were in clubs, but we've added a lot of stuff that will focus on everybody that does horses in general. So if you show, you get points. If you help around the barn, you get points. If you have a horse in your backyard, you get points for doing those kinds of things, like mucking stalls and cleaning water buckets. So we try to make it, and then at the end of the year, we add, there's 4 quarters that you send your team's points in, and at the end of the year, we add your points, and there will be a winner in each category for the team with the most points.
Great, so we have a question from Jessica, and she wants to know, how many people do you have to make a team?
As many as you want. I think it's 0 to 10, 10 to 30, and 30 and above. I don't have the thing in front of me, but there's small, medium, and large, and you're competing against teams of your size. So that if there's someone that has a team of 70, obviously they're going to make more points than a team of 10. We will be changing, I will say we will be changing the team rules to, it's going to say 2 to 10 will be the first club, the first team size, not 0 to 10. So that is a stepping stone we're learning as it's a brand new program and there's learning curves.
Great, so the next question is, will points from last year be counted too, or just the points after you sign up?
Just the points after you sign up. Well, points at this point where it's a new program, we are including all points starting May 1st was when the program came out. So since we've introduced the program, anything from May 1st until the next May, or would be April 31st, 30th, whatever it is, will count.
Great. I think we are ready to move on to our next youth program.
Okay.
The AMHA Horse Mastership Program has been renewed. It is now better than ever. The now called Merit Program is designed to help you become a competent horse person. The 6 levels of testing are designed to increase knowledge.
The first question we are going to ask Nikki is, do you need to repeat the Bull Rush badge when it will be redesigned?
You do not. If you have already completed the Bull Rush badge and you're moving forward, it is grandfathered in and you will have it moving
forward. Perfect. The next question is, do the badges have to be completed in front of somebody, or does someone just have to sign off on it?
So figure someone just signs off, Bull Rush and Woodbury as well. As for the last 3, Sherman, Blackhawk, and Justin Morgan, they need to be signed off by, we just changed the rules. It used to be a horsemanship examiner, but now we have changed the rules. It has to be a USEF professional that is in good standing with AMHA. So your trainers are usually USF professionals, stuff like that. So any of those kind of people can sign off for you now. Things that will change coming forward will probably require some videotapes of tasks being done to send in instead of paperwork. But that's moving forward, and that's with the renewal of the newer badges coming forward.
So the next question is, are the first 3 levels required to compete before the qualifying contest for the Youth of the Year, or just before the contest during Oklahoma?
So the first 3 levels are just for Oklahoma, for the Grand Nationals, if you're going to compete in that. That being said, we suggest that you kind of start working on them as you go through the youth contest, so that if you do make it to Grand Nationals, it's not a race to the finish line to get through all 3 badges, because there is a lot of work, and now a lot of community service will be put into the new badges coming forward as well. So you need the time.
Can you explain a little more about the community service portion of the merit program?
Yeah, so the new merit programs are now going to require community service. The Bull Rush is starting with 5 hours. You're going to need to prove that you've done it. So the next ones, which aren't completed yet on the renovations, but they are also going to require it. The Woodbury, I believe, is going to be requiring 10 hours, but it is cumulative. So if you've done your 5 in Bull Rush, then you only have to do another 5 moving on to Woodbury. So it's cumulative as you move up in the badge ladder, if you will.
The next question is, how do you find out if your trainer is a USEF professional?
You can look it up on UnitedStatesEquestrianFederation.org or USEF.org, I believe. It is on there, or you can ask them, your trainer.
Can you explain a little bit more about what the patches that go with the merit program are?
Yes, actually, we have patches now for every program. The 5 different programs. There's the council, the medal, the merit, the teams, and the youth of the year. And we have these great patches, and I'm going to stand up and be really weird. Sorry, guys, I forgot to take it down off the wall. So we have these things, and they're iron-on for all of you non-sewing people. You can iron them right on. We are working on toward something to be probably purchased or given away in the future. So if you collect all 5, you can have them displayed on whatever this is. And so with the merit program, you get it either with your completion of the figure badge or your Bull Rush badge, depending on if you're a member or which one is your first. And moving forward, Youth of the Year, you get it if you win a contest. I'll kind of do them all now because we're talking about them. You get one if you join the youth council. You get one. And then you get one if you win a silver medal class. And then you get one if you join a AMHA team. So it's kind of fun. So the more patches you get means the more programs you're into and more involved with AMHA youth.
Great. So the next question is, can the community service hours count towards other programs like UPHA Ribbons of Service as well?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't see why not. So yes.
And then a follow-up to that from Kiana is, what counts as community service?
Oh boy, anything, everything. No, so if volunteering to help, anything that helps others. So if you are, I feel like I'm on the spot now. If you're helping fundraise for something, that's community service. If you're helping with, I don't know, pony rides that's not for profit, if it's for like a rescue, if you help at a rescue, an animal rescue, it can be done in so many different ways.
So could you get community service hours for helping like tack up lessons at your barn if you weren't?
I'm going to say that's not community service. That would be part of the teams program. That would just be part of your points, but that's work. So community service would be something helping the community, if you will, doing it for a good cause. There we go.
Perfect. All right, let's move on to the next video. All right, so now if you guys have any questions about the medal, you can type it in the chat. We have one to start you off, Nikki, and that is, what will the medal look like next year?
So this year has been kind of killed. But everyone can still go show in the gold medal classes in Oklahoma without qualifying, which is awesome. But for the youth program, we had a lot of big plans going to Oklahoma this year, but unfortunately, there won't be youth represented at the show itself. So next year, we have some really cool things. Everyone that wins going to get a patch, which we still will do this year. We're just going to mail it to you come the end of show season. At Oklahoma, there will be a medal mixer, little party for all of the silver medal winners throughout the year to kind of get to know each other. We'll probably have a guest speaker or at least someone to take pictures with that's already won the medals. Possibly some little grab bags of cool things, and just a chance for everyone to get to know each other. And there'll be pictures on the wall of all the silver medal winners. There'll be a lot more advertisement of the winners moving forward. Already now we do Medal Mondays, and usually if you win a medal, I contact you the week after and ask you for photos and a little information, and we feature you on our Facebook Say Hey page with your photo and a congratulatory medal winner. So if you have won one, you can send me your stuff.
Great. So then, what are you looking forward to with the medal program in the future?
Making it bigger, making it more recognized. I'm looking for more participants moving forward.
Awesome.
More recognition.
Great. So we just want to remind everybody that there is no qualification requirement except for an AMHA youth amateur membership for the medal in Oklahoma this year. And we can move on to our next program. Does anybody have any questions about the Youth Council that we can answer for you tonight? We can start off with, is there a limit to how many delegates there are on the council?
There is not. There is not. Right now, I think our youth council could probably answer for you, but I know they're looking to make it a lot larger than it is now. They're looking for more participants because they have a lot of stuff happening and they need more help. So the more people we have in the council, the more help they get and the bigger it gets.
Great, so I will take over the next question, which is what are the projects that the Youth Council is currently working on? And one of the projects the Youth Council is currently working on is we're doing a water bottle fundraiser to benefit AMHA, just because they've been affected by the coronavirus, so just like a lot of other equine federations. So you can check out the water bottle fundraiser on Facebook or GoFundMe, or sorry, not GoFundMe, Custom Ink, and you can order a water bottle. They are $18 each, and our goal is to sell 50 water bottles, and there's about a week left on that, so we're trying to sell as many as we can by the end of the week-long period. The next question, it is for you, Nikki. Does the council ever meet in person, or is it all online?
Well, it meets in person when we have the Grand Nationals, but that is not happening this year. Only because we all live far away, there is no in-person meetings. But I will say there is a core show that a lot of us on the East Coast next week that a lot of us will be at, and we've talked about meeting there just for a quick chat for those who can attend and are able to. Nothing business-like, more of, hey, how you doing? So yeah, pretty much once a year because that's the only time everyone all over the country gets together. But Zoom is a great invention.
A youth council meeting this year in Oklahoma?
There will not, because there will be no youth representative in Oklahoma this year.
Great. All right, let's move on to the next topic.
That's me.
So now if you guys have any questions about the youth contest or just any questions about the youth programs in general, you can send it in the chat. The first question that we will be asking Nikki tonight is, how do you qualify for the Youth of the Year contest this year in Oklahoma with it being held virtually?
Okay, so there's 3 ways to qualify. You've either already, there was 2 contests held that qualified someone before the COVID and the rule change. So if you've already won one of those contests, you're qualified. If you have competed at the Grand National Youth Contest in the past at all, and you're still in the age bracket, you are then qualified as well. If you have not done any of those things and you really, really, really want to go in the Grand National Youth Contest, there is a test online that you can qualify with. Registration for the test, the registration's on the website on www.margaretmorris.com. You fill that out and you send it to me by July 31st, and you take a test. It's the same kind of test that you would take in a youth contest. You have to score 200 out of 250, which would also be an 80% for those keeping track. And if you score the 200, over 200, then you are qualified.
Great. Can you explain a little bit more about what the contest will look like this year?
I can try. So the pattern will be the same as usual. So it'll all be filmed ahead of time and uploaded and judged by our judges online. The test will be the same type of test that you use for the registration. So we have a website that we give you a time, a sign-in number, and a code, and you go in and take the test at a time that's specified. It will be proctored this year. There will be a company that makes sure you're not Googling answers and moving around your room or looking up books. The speech will be done via Zoom. It will be, the whole contest itself will be before the Grand Nationals actually take place. And then we're going to announce the different winning categories throughout the week of Oklahoma and probably try to do it live on Saturday night, like usual, just different. So I was getting somewhere with that. So the Zoom will be the speeches, and we'll probably have, a couple hours of speeches over a couple of nights with your judges. So when you sign on, they'll still just be like the real Oklahoma, where there's a little waiting room. You'll be kept in the waiting room until it's your time. You go in and do your speech, and then we kick you out as the judges tally. And the same thing's going to happen for the judging. We here are collecting videos from barns across the country, and we're going to edit them into one class of 4 horses. That would be like normal. And we're going to Zoom them via video. So we're going to give you a specific time to come in and watch the Zoom video for your judging. We will then probably kick you out of that, give you a different Zoom meeting to come in and give your reasons about 10 minutes after the judging. And we'll probably do that over 2 nights. The first night will be in hand. The second will be performance. So did I hit them all? I think so.
Yep. So the next question is there a place to find old Youth of the Year tests to use as study guides?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Whoever you are asking that can contact us, and we can try to give you some old tests. But there is no place online that I know of, unless anyone else on this call knows that. Okay. If you have a youth, Sarah, go for it.
There is a lot of questions that have been put up by past contestants on Quizlet.
Yes, and there will be new ones pertaining to our test too as we move forward. Sorry.
Yes, we're working. Nikki's working very hard to get some study questions put up by AMHA. But if you just went on Quizlet and searched for AMHA Youth of the Year, America Morgan Youth of the Year, Eileen Bodine put up some, Amanda Gossett put up some, I put up some.
So Sophie put some up too, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. So definitely look there. And then I think I'm on the Mentor site. Do we even have the Mentor site still?
It's there, but it's hard to find.
Anyone can contact me to talk to me about how to study, what books to study, if they want to work virtually to develop a study program. I am willing to work with anyone. on that. They just have to find me on Facebook or email me or whatever. But I've done that for some,
Since I was little.
yeah. Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
So I hope that answers that question.
Awesome. So the next question, we've sort of already gone over it a little bit, but Cleo wants to know, how are speeches going to work for the finals this year?
So it's going to be Zoom. We're going to give you like a Zoom time, like for Grand Nationals, if you've ever done before, we give you a specific time to be in the room. So we'll probably do the same thing. We'll give you the time to sign in to the Zoom room. You're going to wait in the waiting room until our judges are ready for you. And then our judges will be on the Zoom call with you, along with me, probably, which I don't usually listen, but I'm going to need to if I'm going to juggle the waiting room. And you're going to give your speech that way. And then when you're done, you can sign right off and we will open to the next person.
Great. So can you just go over for everyone what the requirements are for the senior division? How old do you need to be? What do you need to have completed before Oklahoma? Is there anything special you should be focusing on as a senior competitor?
So the age bracket is 14 to 21. If you are younger than that and would like to compete, that's what the Junior Invitational is for. We still will have that virtual as well this year. And you need to, once you have decided, or even before you can start, it never hurts. But once you qualify, in order to compete, you need to complete the Bull Rush, the Woodbury, and the Sherman badge to be able to compete. And of course, you have to be an AMHA member. That's like number one.
So the next question is, will the interview be a separate Zoom call as well?
That is a good question. Yes, because we have someone else interview you. So yeah, I would assume that's probably going to happen. What we'll do is shuffle you from one room into another. TBD on that. We're working through the kinks of a brand new virtual contest.
Will the qualification change be permanent, or is it just for this year while it's virtual?
Just for this year while it's virtual. Next year, hopefully if the world opens back up again, everything will go back to normal and people can have youth contests, and then they can qualify, and then we can have a Grand National. So there's that.
And you say that the division awards will be announced throughout the week in Oklahoma. Will those be shared other places than just in Oklahoma?
Yes, so we're working on, once again, everything's kind of in the mix here, but we are working on with Tony Lee. So hopefully we're going to get it on the Richfield Productions on live feed. If the live feed's free this year, I guess even if it's not, we're going to work with it being on the live feed and being on the Jumbotron. And if I get really good at technology by then, maybe we can do some kind of Facebook live. If not with the Facebook live, I'll definitely put it on after the fact so you can watch it after it happens.
Great. So does anybody else have any general questions about the youth programs available or about youth contests specifically? We'll give you a second to type something up if you do. Do you want to go to the next slide, Nikki?
Yes. I was waiting. I was ready.
For everyone who joined us tonight, our next live Kahoot study session will be on July 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We had so much fun with our last one, and there were about 15 people who joined us to play Kahoot. Those Kahoots will now be available on Kahoot.com, and you will be able to go play those old ones we did at our last session. And on August 5th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, that will be our next episode of the Morgan Horse Stories. We have a special guest planned to be announced. We don't want to give any spoilers yet, but we hope you join us for that next episode because this is going to be a lot of fun. So I think that's it.
Awesome. And these will be aired afterwards if you missed anything or want to share any information.
We will, yes, we'll share all of the information on all of the youth programs on the Youth Network Facebook page and Instagram and on YouTube.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.